Hey guys, gonna do a quick track walkthrough here of Motorsport. So, lap time was a 25.8. Might have had a little bit more in it. The track temp was about 31C when I did it. So, we'll just kind of get right into it. So, first turn one here. It's kind of hard to have a turn-in point because there's really not a lot around. But if I was to pick something, it would be this line on the outside of the track. Is when it kind of starts is going to be my turn-in point. But honestly, for the most part, I just do this by feel and where I'm at in relation to that first turn. So focus on if you're curious, focus on the gas pedal application and the steering application through here. I'm a little torn between if trail braking is better or if just slowing up a little bit and letting natural rotation take its course. So I like to do a little bit of trail brake. It's probably not the best practice to do these little tiny stabs, but that's kind of what I do. Your goal is I like to be on throttle before the end of this these curbs. Honestly, the earlier you can get on full throttle, the faster you're going to be on the run from turn one right up here down to turn two. So you do gain a couple tenths there if you can be on throttle early. So this is all part of keeping the balance of the car. And really you'll only get in trouble if you make the turn in and then if you brake any more than kind of what I do here. Because if you get any more than that, you're going to get overloaded on the front tires. You're going to start inducing a lot of oversteer through the corner. But it's also important, kind of like I always say, is if the steering wheel feels heavy in your hands, then you have enough front grip to get through the corner. So if your steering wheel is light all the time through this turn, you're probably going too fast. Or you could use a little bit of trail braking to keep weight on the front tire, and weight will make your wheel be heavier. And the heavier it is, the more front grip you have and the faster you can go. So that's kind of the basic philosophy that I use with these is the heavier I can keep my wheel, the faster I'm going to be able to go. So turn two, again, there's not really a good spot to turn in. It's really just by feel, but you want to be all the way on the outside of the track. And then make your turn in because the goal, see if I can get a decent view here. So your goal, we'll get rid of this really quick, is to brake. Well, you can't see my mouse that way, so I guess not. We'll just do far chase. So your goal is I'm hitting the brake here. I want my wheel as straight as possible to brake from this point to this point. Now, if I don't turn in, so see how I turn the wheel just that little bit. See that application? It's so I rotate my car to brake in a straight line. Because if you slow down while you have steering input, especially with this downhill off-camber turn, you're going to spin out every time. So it's important to brake in a straight line without any wheel input to not get your car to over-rotate. So see here, straight wheel, and then I start trail braking. We'll watch that again. So focus on the wheel and pedal. And then I find it a lot better to keep it tight around here. Any wider, like right tires on this track scene. We'll go in the cockpit really quick. So right here. Right here is where there's most grip, and you should be full throttle by the time you get to this notch. You know, I missed it a little bit, but in a perfect world, I'd be full throttle already. So I get all my slowing down early over the crest, and then power through the turn, and the front wheel drive kind of pulls you through it. And this would be a little bit close there, but it's not too bad. This next turn, same thing. Brake in a straight line, off the brake pedal, and then you rotate the car with the steering wheel. So for me, I don't care about getting all the way over. It could help, but I find you gain more pace by going fast through the long left into this tighter right, then going slower through the long left and then wider through the tight right. So here, my braking point is right in this mess of tire tracks. So basically, I get past it, and then I have a small count in my head, and then I'm on the brake pedal. So that's my recommendation, just because that's where you're kind of looking. My eyes are right here. And the second I pass my braking zone, on my brakes, I'm looking back up here. So again, brake in a straight line, start feeding the wheel, a little bit of trail brake. And this turn is especially important to, I like far chase more. So brake just in this mess of tire marks. It's really important to not get on throttle too early or too hard. So here you can see I have, 5% throttle input in it pretty early on, and that's to track the car around the corner. Is that the front wheel drive with a little bit of power can pull the car through the corner. So that's the purpose of the 5-10% throttle there. This downhill this downhill left is going to be full throttle to 80%. Now if you lift really aggressively here, so you go from 100 to 50 really fast, or you use the brake pedal, you're going to over rotate, you spin out, you wreck yourself, and you might wreck others. So here you see how smooth that the throttle off is. I hold it there and then I'm right back on. Braking here kind of sucks, but as I'm watching it, it's again this little mess of tires is right where I'm braking. Brake in a straight line. Get down to this apex. And then this turn honestly sucks. I could probably spend 15 minutes talking about this turn. Frankly, I'm a little tired and I don't want to do that. So I'll just show you the line of the braking. Whatever. So from here, the most important thing is not early apexing. So the problem is with this first right-hander is that if you slow down too much, then you have to use a little bit of throttle. You see I use a little throttle here. But if you use too much, you go off there. And then you want to trail brake down. And because of this downhill off camber, if you trail brake too much, you're going to lock up the inside tire and you'll push wide. And because of the long straightaway after, exit speed is the most important thing. So see, I'm already 50% throttle, 3 car lengths before the apex. And then I'm full throttle by the time I'm at the apex. I hate that turn. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Unless you ask, then I'll tell you. But here, same thing. I'm going to cut the angle. So here you'd think that it's just a smooth turnaround. But what I'm going to do is, see, I have my steering wheel angled. I'm going to straight line from here to the apex. And I'm going to use that time to slow down in a straight line so I don't over rotate. If you try and make the turn while slowing down, you will spin out here. So we'll just watch it in fast time and I'll slow down. So see how I pivot the wheel really quick right here, and then I hit the brake pedal. And I have my steering wheel straight until I'm slow enough to make the turn. And then I'm managing the brake pedal, the gas pedal. Like, this is just a balancing act of a turn to keep the weight on the front tire. So that's all I'm doing, is just I'm feeling how heavy and light the wheel gets and using brake pedal to steer through it. Make sure that you're on throttle early here too. 40, 50% throttle seems to work really well. Up to 100% between the short shoot. And this one you don't need to do as much. Like, I get a little bit of angle rotation through this. I don't really know. It's kind of whatever. Then again, back on the throttle. Bring it out. Ideally, I wouldn't have carried so much speed through the second to last turn. So interesting thing here, this is actually a really good lesson, is see the second brake application, you're going to see my car flat slide because I get too much oversteer. So right here, it's kind of hard to tell, but But see that weird wallow? Oh, here we go. Maybe we can see it from... Yeah, see that little wallow right here? I did that too soon, and I can't, and the rotation isn't quite there, and so I pop out a little bit. Anyway, then this last turn, these last turns are fairly straightforward. Don't hit that curb, it's a bad curb. A little bit of trail braking, 50% throttle, away you go. So we'll watch that in a full-time cockpit view. Whoops, I got distracted. So anyway, there's a lap.